I want to start this video by saying something that might feel like a personal attack, but I promise you, it is coming from a place of deep shared financial trauma. Here it is, you are not saving money when you buy something on sale. You are spending money, and more often than not, you are spending money on garbage that was designed to be garbage from the moment it hit the factory line. We have been collectively gaslit into believing that we are savvy hunters in an economic jungle outsmarting the system because we found a designer sweater for $24.99. But the reality is the system isn't being outsmarted. The system built that sweater specifically for you to find specifically at that price and specifically to fall apart 3 washes later. I need to confess something to you. I need to take you back to a version of myself from about 5 years ago. I was in an outlet mall in upstate New York standing in the middle of a Coach store. I wasn't rich. I was arguably broke, but I was holding a beige tote bag that had a price tag of $300 crossed out and a bold red sticker that said $99. My heart was actually racing, physically racing. I felt this rush of adrenaline, this smug sense of victory. I convinced myself that by purchasing this bag, I was saving $200. I told myself this was an investment piece. I told myself this was a symbol of the career woman I wanted to be. I bought the bag, and you know what happened? Within 4 months, the straps started peeling. The lining ripped. It wasn't leather. It was a synthetic bonded material that smelled faintly of gasoline when it got hot. I didn't buy a luxury good for a steal. I bought a $99 lie. I bought a piece of plastic that was never intended to be sold for $300 in the first place. That original price was a fabrication, a phantom number invented solely to trigger the scarcity mechanism in my lizard brain. I looked at that bag in my closet for years, not with pride, but with shame. It was a physical manifestation of my own gullibility. And this brings me to the question we need to answer today. A question that sits uncomfortably at the intersection of our wallets and our souls. If you are buying something primarily because of the price it used to be rather than the value of what it is, are you actually a consumer or are you just a dumping ground for corporate excess? To understand why we fall for this, we have to stop blaming our own lack of willpower and start looking at the architecture of the American retail landscape. We are living in the golden age of the illusion of success. American culture is uniquely obsessed with the appearance of wealth rather than the accumulation of stability. Marketing psychology has weaponized this. They know that for the average middle-class American, the gap between their actual income and the lifestyle they see on Instagram is widening every single day. We feel poor, we feel left behind, and the retail industry offers us a very specific, very dangerous drug to numb that pain, the discount. This is what experts call anchor pricing. They show you a high number to anchor so that any number below it feels reasonable, even if that lower number is still objectively too high for the quality of the product. When you walk into these discount havens, you aren't walking into a store, you are walking into a Skinner box designed to manipulate your dopamine receptors. The chaotic racks, the bright red signs, the limited time offers, it creates a state of low-level panic. We are terrified of missing out. We are terrified of not having nice things. So we settle for the simulation of nice things. We fill our homes and our closets with goods that provide a momentary hit of serotonin at the cash register, followed by a long, slow hangover of buyer's remorse. It is a systemic issue. The retail industry has shifted from a model of seasonality to a model of constant churn. They don't want you to buy one high-quality coat that lasts 10 years. That is bad for business. They want you to buy 5 mediocre coats every winter because they were such a good deal. We are drowning in stuff, yet we are constantly hungry for more. It is the emptiness of the calorie-dense, nutrient-poor diet applied to our finances. And today I am going to walk you through the 5 specific places where this toxicity thrives and why I have completely banned them from my life to save not just my bank account, but my sanity. The factory outlet village. Let's start with the biggest offender, the mecca of the suburban weekend trip, the outlet mall. The psychology here is seductive. We hold on to this romantic notion that outlets are where luxury brands send their mistakes, their overstock, or last season's runway items. We think we are digging through the leftovers of the rich to find a diamond in the rough. It makes us feel subversive, like we're hacking the luxury market. But here is the hard truth, that inventory doesn't exist. Luxury brands destroy their unsold merchandise to protect their brand value. They don't ship it to a strip mall in Ohio. Roughly 85 to 90% of the merchandise in an outlet store was made specifically for the outlet. It is what the industry calls MFO, made for outlet. These items are produced in completely different factories using lower-grade cotton, synthetic leather, blends, cheaper zippers, and simplified patterns to cut costs. That J. Crew or Banana Republic sweater you see at the outlet, it never sat in a regular retail store. It was sewn together to look like the real thing from 5 feet away, but to feel like cardboard after 2 washes. You aren't getting a discount on quality. You are paying full price for mediocrity. You are paying a premium for a logo on a product that has the structural integrity of a paper towel. So here's the question you need to ask yourself next time you are tempted to drive an hour to the outlets. Would I still buy this item if it didn't have the famous brand label on it? If this was a generic brand at Walmart for the same price, would I think it was high quality? The swap, if you want luxury quality without the luxury price, stop going to outlets and start learning the art of secondhand and consignment. Poshmark, The Real, or even your local high-end thrift store. Buy the actual high-quality item used rather than a low-quality imitation that is brand new. The off-price giants, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross. Next, we have the chaotic cathedrals of the treasure hunt. The psychology of these stores is brilliant and predatory. They intentionally keep the stores disorganized. They mix the home goods with the gourmet popcorn and the socks. This is scarcity gamification. Because the inventory is inconsistent, you are trained to believe that if you see something you might want, you have to buy it now because it won't be there tomorrow. It bypasses the logical part of your brain that asks, do I need this, and triggers the primal part that screams, grab it before someone else does. The hard truth is that these stores are clutter generators. They are the primary source of what I call aspirational trash. You go in for a frying pan and you leave with a ceramic owl, a yoga mat you'll never use, and a bottle of truffle oil that expires in 2 weeks. You are nickel and diming yourself into poverty. You think you're frugal because you never spend more than $20 on an item, but you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on things that bring no long-term value to your life. You are filling your home with visual noise just to feel the thrill of the find. I want you to look around your living room right now. How many items do you see that you bought at a discount store because they were cute or cheap, but that you now actively ignore or wish you didn't have to dust? The swap, implement the list rule. If you need a frying pan, write it down. Go to the store. If you do not find the frying pan you leave, you are not allowed to buy anything that was not on the physical list you wrote before you entered the building. If you can't stick to this, you have to stop going entirely. The dollar store and the $5 below section. This is a controversial one because for many this feels like a necessity. But we need to talk about the poor tax hidden in the dollar aisle. The psychology here is low barrier to entry. It feels risk-free. It's just $1 or $1.25 now. Who cares if it breaks? But this is where the math kills you. The hard truth is that unit pricing at dollar stores is often astronomical compared to regular retailers. You are paying for the packaging, not the product. The roll of aluminum foil is half the length. The cleaning spray is diluted. The batteries die in an hour. But worse than the unit price is the toxicity. Reports have shown high levels of lead and phthalates in dollar store toys and kitchenware. You are buying single-use plastics that break immediately, forcing you to buy them again and again. It is an expensive cycle of replacing junk. It keeps you trapped in a loop of spending money on things that refuse to last. Ask yourself this. Are you wealthy enough to afford to buy the same can opener 3 times because the first 2 broke in your hand? The swap buy in bulk for consumables, even if the upfront cost is higher. Split a Costco membership with a friend if you have to. For tools and household items, buy one decent version from a standard retailer. It is better to have one $10 spatula that lasts a lifetime than 10 $1 spatulas that melt into your food. The fast fashion clearance rack, H&M, Forever 21, Zara sales sections. The deepest circle of retail hell. The back corner of a fast fashion store where clothes are piled on the floor. The psychology here is fantasy self-shopping. When clothes are this cheap, $3 for a top, $7 for a dress, we stop buying for our actual lives and start buying for our imaginary lives. We buy a sequin tube top for a New Year's Eve party we aren't invited to. We buy pants 2 sizes too small because it's motivation. The hard truth is that this is not clothing, it is future landfill. These garments are often the defects, the returns, or the items so poorly designed that even the trend-obsessed rejected them. By bringing them into your home, you are taking on the burden of disposal. You are paying rent in your closet for items that make you feel guilty every time you look at them. This isn't just a waste of money, it's a waste of your mental energy. It creates decision fatigue every morning when you have to sift through a mountain of cheap polyester to find the 3 shirts you actually like wearing. Here is the question for the comment section. What is the cost per wear of the cheapest item in your closet? Have you worn that $5 shirt enough times to make it worth the hanger space, or does it still have the tag on it? The swap the one and one out rule is not enough. Try the capsule mindset. Do not buy anything unless you can immediately identify 3 outfits you can make with it using items you already own. If it doesn't work with your current wardrobe, it's not a bargain, it's a burden. The online flash sale and dropshipping sites Temushin, Wayfair, closeouts. Finally, we have the digital version of this nightmare. The apps that gamify shopping with countdown clocks and spinning wheels. The psychology is FOMO, fear of missing out, mixed with extreme convenience. They remove the friction of spending. You can spend $50 while lying in bed in the dark. The 90% off timers create artificial urgency, bypassing your critical thinking skills. The hard truth is that you are often buying direct from factory goods with zero quality control. The photos are stolen from legitimate designers, but the product you receive is a sad, unraveled ghost of the image. The return policies are often designed to be just difficult enough that you give up and keep the trash. This is effectively gambling. You are betting $20 that the item will be usable, and the house usually wins. Furthermore, the environmental and ethical cost of shipping a $3 plastic gadget halfway across the world is a debt we are all going to pay eventually. Ask yourself, does the momentary excitement of opening the package outweigh the disappointment of holding the cheap product in your hands 5 seconds later? The swap, delete the apps. I mean it. Remove the saved credit card information from your browser. Introduce friction. If you want something, create a 30-day wait list on your phone notes app. If you still want that specific item in 30 days and you can afford it, you can buy it. I guarantee you 99% of the time you will have forgotten it ever existed. I want to end this by taking a deep breath. If you are listening to this and feeling defensive or feeling foolish because your closet is full of these things, please stop. Shame is not a financial strategy. Shame keeps us hiding. Shame keeps us spending to self-soothe. I boycotted these stores not because I'm better than them, but because I was weak for them. I knew that I could not walk into a TJ Maxx without losing an hour of my life and $50 of my hard-earned money on things I didn't need. I had to know myself well enough to remove the temptation. We have to understand that saving money isn't about finding the lowest price tag. It is about respecting the money you have already earned. It is about understanding that a $10 shirt that you wear 0 times is infinitely more expensive than a $50 shirt you wear 50 times. So here is my challenge to you for this week: unsubscribe. Go to your email search for the word unsubscribe and remove yourself from the mailing lists of every outlet, every flash sale site, every off-price retailer. Stop letting them buzz in your pocket to tell you what you need. Take back the agency over your own desires, because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about how much stuff you can squeeze into your shopping cart for under $100. True wealth is the freedom of not needing to buy anything at all to feel good about yourself. You cannot save money by spending it. Remember that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.